At your convenience. What's up, everyone?
It's convenient.
My name is Nicholas Allen Delcott, and this is Drew Thomas on the other line. How are you doing today, Drew?
Hey, man. I'm doing good. I'm looking directly into your eyes right now.
How they look?
Whenever I'm not looking here, I'm not looking into your eyes. I'm probably looking at myself. Like right here, I'm looking at myself. But right here, I'm
Do you
looking
ever get
directly
nervous
into your
about
eyes.
like on the Zoom, like when you like kick yourself out real quick, you're like, all right, is my hair messed up or
Yeah,
something?
I'm like looking at
People
myself
know.
now.
So yeah, okay,
No,
yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
no, because everyone is a narcissist in that way. Like if there's a mirror in front of you, you can't help but look at that mirror and like
There's an
try and
old
judge
thing my
yourself.
choir teacher told me. He said, I'm gonna take a picture of everyone, and then I'm gonna put it up on the screen up here. And he like put the picture of the screen up there, and then he was like, now raise your hand if you didn't look at yourself first.
Ah, everyone looks
And
at
everyone,
themselves first.
no one raised their hand because everyone
Yeah.
looked at them like, oh, do I look fine in that picture?
Everyone judges themselves.
Um, yeah, to a certain extent, there can be some pretty bad narcissism out there, but to a certain extent, like everyone is a little bit of a narcissist. If you call that narcissism, if that even qualifies.
I mean, everyone has an ego, it's essentially it. So I think yeah. So we agreed to talk about how we've been setting goals, maybe like past goal setting versus like goal setting to now, and how we kind of do it now versus in the past. Maybe that's a good starting spot. So how did you used to set goals, or did you?
Goal
'Cause I
setting
did.
kind of, yeah. Goal setting kind of started for me back when I was overseas. I picked up this book in an Irish bookshop called, I think it was like Smarter, Better, Faster. I think I ended up giving it to you, Drew. And it kind
I
of
still
just
have
like
that
taught
book.
me, yeah, it kind of taught me about like different kind of goals that you can set. Like there's like big goals, medium goals, small goals. And then like that was kind of the extent for me for like, I don't know, maybe a year. And I kind of just like kept that in the back of my mind, like, okay, I could break goals down. Like goals aren't just like a singular process. And then maybe I kind of got into like, all right, now I'm going to set a goal for like, what's my word for the year? Like, I heard that in some other talk. And then I was like, all right, now I'm going to set goals for like every area of my life. And then now I've come to this place where like, maybe I could break my yearly goals into big goals in area of my life that point to so it's like I have one overarching goal, and then I have like different areas of my life. Like I have like diet and exercise and social, etc. But every one of those goals has a main goal as well. But all those main goals point back to the overarching goal. And then each main goal is broken down into 12 different goals throughout the month that all point back to the main goal that all, if I complete them, will allow me to reach that goal. But like each goal every month is broken down into proximal goals, which are even smaller goals, which are kind of like tactical methods to be able to like.
You're over. This it's like this wasn't the past, right? This is like now.
This is now. This is like
Okay.
me evolving in a sense with the like stuff I've learned about goal setting. So I know it's a lot, but like some people are just kind of like, I just need to set a goal and go after it. And me, I love details. I love numbers. I love the analytical side of things. And like I like kind of did this a little bit last year, but all my other goals in my areas of my life didn't point back to the goal. So I only got like 7 out of 10 of my goals complete, which effectively didn't allow me to complete my main goal. But this year, I'm hoping, since I have more of like a game plan for how to achieve the monthly goals, that it'll allow me to achieve the main goal.
Okay.
And also last year, I didn't, all the goals were like totally different. They didn't point back to the main goal. So it's like every day I'm thinking about the goal. You know, it's not like every day I'm thinking about, oh, what should I do here? Like, what should I do about this? It's like, do. It's like, no, here, this is it. Um, so yeah. What about you,
Right.
Drew Thomas?
Mine's way more simple, man. It's like there's like I saw this thing one time that was like a nice. I read this thing once. I put a blog post up about something about vision or something, and this guy posted on it and said like he said your vision is like a painting, like that's constantly changing. So you add things to, you take things away based off of the paint you put on, based off the canvas you want to use. And but it's like as far as you can see into the future, just subjectively, about the way you want your life to look. Uh, um, some of the paint that I'm throwing on the canvas right now is uh, like, for example, like Naval Ravikant's work-life balance. Um, I think my dad works really hard, and I think he's got a good work-life balance. I think he does really well with relationships too, and I think he does okay with those. My mom does a better job, but um, they're like taking people and taking the paint out of their thing and then putting it on on my little thing, and then get my canvas together and starting to paint the canvas, with each of those people's inputs of what I like about their life. So I'm I'm going after like advice they would probably give me. And like I kind of create the goals based on like what type of advice they would give me. And I mean, right now, but in the past, there hasn't been a goal. It's been, I mean, in the past, there's been a goal of, get a 3.5, get a good job, get out of college, graduate, have a good girlfriend. Those were the goals, right? But they were all sort of internal. I mean, I wasn't writing that down, who would? I don't even write that stuff down now. But what I do write down now is mainly the things that I don't want to do that I know I have to do. And the things that I do want to do, I write down too. But basically, I take what advice would be given to me from these people that I want to be like in some ways, and I uh, have the vision for what I want my future to be, and then I base all my goals inside that overarching vision. So I'm a big believer in a foundational structure for your life. So exercise, sleep, and diet, and um, like meditation is good too, which I've been falling behind on as of late. But just the practice itself. But I find that when I just do it once, I feel great. But um, the the idea of just basically just I mean, right now I have written in my planner, uh, like goals for doing this modern musician program right now, which is gonna I've made a contract with myself to I can't release a new song until I've gone through this program so that I can release the song in the right way. And there's just it's just small step by steps like that. I mean, yesterday, for example, I worked for 6 hours, which is a part of my financial goal. I worked on the modern musician thing for an hour and a half, which was a part of the music goal. I practiced for an hour, which is a part of the music goal. There's different sort of, but it's all in the same vision. It's all in the same, they're all in that. And I worked out yesterday. Um, yeah, I mean, it's all like what advice people would give
You,
me if I could
how do
talk
you
to
keep it
them.
at the front of your mind? Those goals.
It's
Like,
just
what's your
writing them
process for
down.
that?
It's
Every
writing them
day you
down.
write down your goals.
Yeah, I use this thing as of late. I'm using this thing called Trello. Um,
Tell me about it.
I'll just share my screen real quick.
Okay.
Maybe that'll. Um, can you see this right here?
I'm just gonna flip my screen just so I have a bigger view.
Okay.
All right, I can see better now.
Yeah. So this is this is a software development strategy, which is everything from here to the left is backlog, and here these are the doing. It's essentially backlog, doing, and done columns, and that's essentially storyboarding. That's getting, these task lists down of, you get to cross things off your task list every time you do it, and it feels good. It's just like having things in your planner, and you just cross them off there. Um, there's that. I do this for everything too. I mean, here's all my projects right now. Uh, I'm working on SLRBO. I've got another client called Astro Property Management. I'm working on a personal Spotify playlist, which is on the big backlog. I'm working on app development for the Modern Musician. That's how I'm getting this Modern Musician program for free. It's normally a $5,000 thing. And then this is all the things inside that. But I'll just show you this last thing. This one's built out too. But like essentially, I just have these labels of green because it makes me feel good to see green. It's like go full steam ahead, which means like everything, all the check boxes here are, you've used Trello before too, when we were working together in the MIS program. I think it maybe, but
I have, yeah. It's been so long, man. This is really cool to see again.
yeah, and all these are just, I only implemented this like a month or two ago, and I just had this realization sitting down, and I was like, why don't I do this for music? And it's just made me more proactive in terms of not just having the hierarchical vision, because like your vision, you can see it, but then it's a it's a vision, so it's not, there's no tasks, there's no actions to take.
Yep.
So and then essentially all this is a page inside this program that I'm working on, that I'm developing right now. So yeah, essentially this is how I'm taking that's how I'm making sure that I'm doing it correctly.
Dude, I like that. I like that Pornhub subscription on your email too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Gotta take part in that stuff. Gotta
Yeah.
make sure you do your part. Make sure all the lovely
For
ladies out
America,
there.
right? For
Huh?
America. You gotta do your
America,
part for
baby.
America.
Yo, check this out. See those? See the Harry Potter? Uh, this cup's like 25 years old.
I see it says Drew.
Yeah. Anyway.
What it's 25 years old?
Yeah, my grandmother and grandfather got it at Disney World for me a while ago, so that's cool.
Aren't
Um,
you 25 right now?
yeah. I mean, it's pretty much 25 years old. I'm just guessing how. I don't remember going there, so it's at least 22 years old
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
because I
Okay.
remember everything since I've been 4.
Dude, I'm an organizational nerd, so I just totally nerded out on what you showed me, and appreciate that. Um,
Good deal,
that was
man.
cool, dude. That's cool.
Good deal. Yeah, I essentially, like, I was writing. So I've got this. This is like just my. This is just like I remember like back in high school, like elementary. I used to or in middle school when I would do math problems, I would I would basically like I would do a box around the math problem after I completed it. So I'd give myself the amount of space that I needed, right? And then I would do the problem. I wouldn't do the box before. I would do the problem first. Like here, I haven't completed this problem yet. So like you do the problem first, you box it off, and then you cross everything out. And it's like, okay, these are done. And to my mind, like these things are always done. These things will be forever done. I don't need to look at these things ever again. Unless I like absolutely like it's necessary. But that's before that's how the goals were going. And it just didn't feel, it didn't feel like uh it's just like what am I what's getting done, you know? So it's like the reassessment has been nice. So yeah, that's a new process that I'm using it's been good.
Good, man. That is cool.
Yeah, man.
That is cool.
Do you have a new favorite thing that you're doing as of late? Like a new favorite habit that you're doing? This
Hmm.
changed your like is there a decision you've taken with your life that I could potentially implement that has like crossed off 100 other decisions
Um,
or
hmm.
thoughts? Crossed off 100 other thoughts or anything?
Yes, I do. It's this thing right here.
Ah, yeah, you son of a
This
gun.
I got this smartwatch, and honestly, I will share my interface with you now, my screen with you.
Cool.
That way, you can see like what's going on and how bad I've been doing and how great I've been doing, and like the times I fail and the times I succeed. But this is essentially it's a Garmin Instinct watch. And what I've been doing is I've been like biohacking by analyzing the data that has been given to me through like the heart rate sensor, which is super accurate on this watch,
Mm-hmm.
and the sleep tracking and etc. But you'll see. I think you'll be really pleased. And like the watch does more too, but I can't really show you on the watch. But it's pretty simple watch. There's no like it's not like an iWatch that you can open up like your messages app or anything on. I think you can if you have an Android phone get a message on here, but Apple phones don't allow messages, which I actually like. I don't want
Yeah.
messages popping up on my wrist.
No.
So let me go to this real quick. Let me just open it up and sync it real quick.
Hey, by the way, is my audio good?
Your audio is great. It's looking like your camera's going like light and then dark. I don't know if you have like a night light in there or something.
Really?
Other than that, it's been great. See that? I think it's just when you get close. All right. So I'm about to share my screen. Oh, you got to make me host real quick.
Let's see if I can do that without having to.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm host. All right. Let's see. All right. Share screen. Screen recording. No. Start recording.
I think it's just share a screen, right?
All right, we in? Can you see me?
I can see you. I can't see your screen though.
Weird. Let me try one more time. Screen share, screen. Stop recording. Oh, this should work now. Let me know when you see it. Good?
Yep.
All right. So this is the interface. Look, you can see up here, it's kind of just auto refreshing right now. This is a really bad run I did. I did terrible today, but this is my run.
So and I need to work. To me.
Yeah, it was a really slow run. It was just a really nice day out, and I just kind of wanted to jog and just have a really nice day out. I didn't want to push myself too much.
I see 11:04.
Yeah. I was just kind of chilling.
Is green starting or stopping?
looking at the mountains. That's blue is when I'm going slower, and red's when I'm going faster with my
Right.
pace.
See the green marker, like the top?
Oh, green is start and red is stop. So
Nice.
I stopped at red and
You
then
did
I
a little
walked
sprint.
all the way to green.
You did a little sprint at the end. That's my boy.
A little one. There's more on this, but this isn't what I really wanted to show you. That may be what
Okay.
you're interested in, but that's not what I'm super interested in. This is like heart rate monitors, and it shows you like my heart rate. Like I actually like pushed, I think at the end there, to like 170 my heart rate.
Mm-hmm.
You can see there. This is my body battery. So I had last night. You can see I kind of like slowly started climbing up battery, and what this does is it does like variable heart rate monitoring. So like this is my stress monitor. Stress is like it analyzes like your variable heart rate. The best way I can kind of explain that is like how much your heart rate goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Like you can see like in the blue when I was sleeping, it was pretty consistent. And then let's see. So we can go like to let's see on the
Wait.
Any questions?
Yeah, can you go back? Can you go back to that screen you were talking about?
Right here.
Yeah, the show stress. Yeah.
So you can see like I've drained 36 of my battery today, so I only have 43. And if I go like the 1/4 down, it'll kind of tell me like, hey, like manage your stress a little bit because you're gonna be exhausted tomorrow if you don't manage your stress. And the really cool thing about it is like I can like there'd be like some nights where I'll like stay up or like different like inputs will happen. Like I'll stay up past my bedtime. Like last night I stayed up past my bedtime, like way too late. I think I stayed up till like past 12. And or like right around 12ish. And like I still got good sleep, but some nights like I'll like stay up and I'll be looking at a screen like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I only get like 20%, like 20 plus 20 charge. So like the next day I can noticeably tell, or like, let's say you drink or let's say you smoke, like you can tell when you do that because you can go up to like your stress. And like today, this was my stress today. So obviously I've been a little stressed out today. I've had a few meetings and I have an interview coming up after this and I went on a run. So that makes sense, but you can see like I had a pretty stable sleep there as well. So it doesn't measure like the run, but
it's bad. You had 2 bad dreams.
Was that? Oh, like 2, like you saw that?
You had 2 bad dreams.
Yeah, 2 parts of my dream that were like that weren't terrible, but they exceeded like 25 stress.
I can't help but be skeptical about these things just because I know if I had one of these, you could just dive into this information and allow it to make you anxious. But only because I think the power of the mind is, I think, a good.
There is like I got 9 hours 38 minutes of sleep. I think it's because like I don't know, I had a lot of sleep last night. I think I just stayed up late and I was like, whatever. Yeah, 10. It said I went to sleep at 10, but I was just in my bed. It says I was in the REM like at like 11ish. So maybe I went to sleep around 11ish. And I've been putting my phone in like a different room and just sleeping with my watch on. So it's kind of hard to see the concert time. That doesn't really matter.
Wait. So go back. Can you go back to the stress thing again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is stress.
How does it measure? How does it measure the stress?
So here we go. About stress levels. It used a metric called heart rate variability to estimate when you're under stress and when you're at rest.
Okay.
So it's, of course, like there are
times.
Stress data accuracy. Unmeasurable periods when high resolution heart rates data is unavailable. Instances where you're moving your hands a lot, you're not wearing your device. And then how to use your reading, stress reactions. And it's just like, the biggest thing is like not to take it too seriously, but to and you saw the sleep thing, right, where it showed the REM cycles and everything. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty dang cool. And it's like, yeah, you can use it to like say, oh, I'm so tired today. I'm at one battery. And it's like,
Right.
no, like, it's like obviously like, but at least you're aware that you're low battery. And like, I think it's like a more of an awareness tool, not to like let it like project tiredness and energy on you, but to allow it to use you to biohack to say, what what routines did I do that night that led me to only have like half the quality of sleep that I normally would? Or like,
Yeah, it's
you
it's
know, what was
definitely
I
more beneficial to have it than to not have it.
yeah, it's like
100%.
what was I doing at 7:15 that like made me go up my stress to like so freaking high? Like what was I doing there? And I was like, oh, I was talking to that person, or like, oh, I was in that meeting, and I was like, maybe I could like work on like practicing ways to lower like my reactions to someone like that, or like my reactions in the meeting. Maybe I can like not react as much and like practice like mindfulness or something, you know? And
Yeah.
um so I mean, if there's one thing that I've been doing, it's been analyzing that and trying to hack. And you know, I think it's going to take a year to like truly hack it. And it's like there's one thing like analyzing negative patterns in your life, there's another thing like getting rid of them. So
Yeah.
so it's just good to be aware. It's like more of an awareness tool. I'm a
Mhm.
data nerd, like I said in the beginning of this podcast, but like, so I've really enjoyed it. It tracks my like I can go on like a hike and like just like drop my pin at the car, and it will just route me back to my car. It has like very accurate run tracking, so like it says like to the 10th of, or to the 100th of a mile, like how far I've gone, stuff like that. Um, what my real time split time is. So like if I'm running slow, it says, oh, you're running a 12-minute mile right now. And if I'm running fast, it goes up. It says, oh, now you're running an 8-minute mile. Like, and then like you can see like, oh, dude, I slowed down. I'm at a 10-minute mile right now. I better like, why am I slowing down right now? Like, what was I thinking about? You know? And it's just
Right.
like, it's just cool.
Yeah.
So,
You're the nitty grittiness of like the amount of detail it goes into, it's so much, which is cool if you want to try and understand things more. But for me, like I know I didn't get good sleep last night purely off of I know what I did yesterday. That I know it. All right, so over Christmas break, I've been drinking a lot. I've been drinking way too much. So I want to not do that anymore. I don't, it's been 2 days or so. Since
but
the,
why were you drinking a lot?
it's just, it was around and drinking is a luxury for me because it's nice to have a drink when you're broke, you know, it's a drink that you're not paying for. So when you're around your parents, but last night, I stayed up watching. I watched Angel Has Fallen. With and it doesn't matter. Um, Mainly because I feel bad about it.
Wait, you said with like the actors or the person that you're with?
No, 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 just the actors.
Oh, with
Uh,
Leonardo DiCaprio and
you're
like,
right.
oh, okay.
So I just stayed up until like 1 or so, and I have this habit of reading about an hour before bed. So I stayed up I stayed up looking at blue light until 1 or so, and I didn't
Is
read
your
last night.
oh, you didn't read? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't read last night, and I was like, okay, I'll just meditate and go to sleep. I'll just breathe into my body, and I'll be fine. And I did that, but I got distracted for about an hour or so, and then I was able to do it about an hour and a half in, probably. Um, but I woke up this morning at 8:30 too, so I'm on like 6.5 hours of sleep, and I'm used to like 8 minutes, 8 hours and 30 minutes at least, and I can feel my brain is a little bit off. I just feel it. Um, but uh, I mean, it would be nice to see. It would be nice to see that thing because then I could attribute a feeling to it that is more it's more backed by things I can see with my eyes too. I can be like, okay, if you watch this movie, your heart rate is going to go up earlier in the day and like before you go to sleep. So if you watch this movie, that's what's going to happen. So that's the trade-off. You understand the
That
trade-off, Drew. So now either do it or don't. You know,
yeah,
and well, another thing
okay.
was I I did so many things yesterday. I got so much done that I was like, I don't want to do shit anymore. I worked from I the whole time I was awake, I was doing something productive. I wasn't just staying busy either. And so I was like, well, I need like a reward system. I need to figure out a reward system for myself per daily thing. And apparently the movie is not working. Uh Although it kind of does, but not really because Netflix is trash anyway. I mean, no good movies on there. So, I mean, sometimes there are. You know.
I like the reward system thing. Let's loop back to that in a sec. I just want to say two more things. Um, First thing is, about 99% of people that have this watch do not think of this to the depth that you or I would think of it too.
Hmm.
Like, they're not looking at their stuff every day saying, why did my stress go up right there? And what could I do? Like, they're just like, I like this because it tracks my hikes, or I like this because it tracks my heart rate, or I like
Yep.
this because I can track my runs without holding my phone in my hand.
Yep.
Um, like the other like 1% are probably saying, and I'm not saying 1%, I just maybe 1% in this aspect of life, but I'm saying like you don't you can like be as intentional as you want with the data, but the data is there for you to be intentional with. So it's kind of like, and the second thing I was going to say was, it's not like I plan to wear a watch that tracks my data for the rest of my life, but if I'm able to biohack for a year at 26, like, it's going to provide exponential returns in my 30s, in my 40s, in my 50s, knowing what bad habits that I've been doing and being aware of what ways I can like um, counter those stressful periods of time. So I think it's worth maybe the little bit of added stress for the return of like exponential returns in my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, etc. If I hope
Yeah.
to live that long. So
I think they
um,
are exponential too. I mean, that's another thing of like building the foundation type stuff that, yeah, I'm obsessed with that stuff. So you wanted to circle back to the like reward system.
yeah, yeah.
I think it's interesting because your brain thinks about um, it thinks about the the path and the outcomes, or dadgummit, it's something that's um,
Neural networking.
something path and outcome.
Okay.
Something path and outcome. That's what your brain, according to Andrew Huberman, but it's something path and outcome. And I think like the reward system in your brain, it's a compounding interest sort of deal, because if you give yourself a reward for doing a hard task, and especially if it's like a healthy reward, then it's just gonna, that process that you did is is so good. It's just you're gonna do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And over. You're just gonna get really good at it because your brain is like is focused on the reward, not even the path. So duration, path, outcome. That's what it is. And so like the reward for like a hard day's work, what could that be? And I mean, essentially it's just like asking yourself about exercise. Like, exercise for me is put on your shoes, put on your workout out shorts or whatever, and all I have to do is notice when I'm overwhelmed and I have a lot of energy, and then from there it's like all I have to do is go do it. I just go do it, and then I will get the rewards after. It just, that's the way it feels to me. So it's a habit I've been doing for a long time now, but it's just increment, like finding the reward for that. Uh, the reward for the exercise is happiness after. I mean, I'm way more relaxed. It just feels great. So it's just like finding one of those things to for like a long day of work. I mean, I worked 12 hours yesterday, and I'm trying to figure out like a longer than that, and I want to figure out a good way to you know, to reward a
I think
hard day's of work.
yeah, I think like it's such a complex system rewarding your brain. I don't know. For me, I think of like, all right, so there was this one time that I tried to reward myself for waking up early with like 8 Sour Patch Kids. And I was like, wait. And I started doing that and I was waking up and I was like, this is a super unhealthy reward. Like, so maybe I should like make it healthy. And like story over. But like there's also like the thing of like delayed gratification versus immediate gratification. So like if you keep giving yourself rewards in the immediate, like you keep saying like, all right, if I work hard today, I get a cake or I get a massage, an immediate reward, uh, then you're reinforcing immediate gratification in your mind, which is potentially like a bad thing. And then there's also the premise of like, okay, um, you know, Sour Patch Kids are they're only gonna work for a few weeks, and then I'm gonna get kind of tired of them, you know. So it's like this perpetual like what thing, like is it a perpetual like keep switching it up, or is it like something? It's like what thing do I love enough that produces enough dopamine that's actually healthy, that's not always an immediate gratification, but my, you know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
guess those, it's just a multifaceted like
there's a
system.
line. There's a line between delaying gratification and finding gratification for the moment. Like being grateful for a moment is a lot. I mean, that's not the same thing, but
I'll agree with that though.
you're obsessed. You're obsessed. You are a little biased because you're obsessed with this delaying gratification thing, and I am too. I mean, we're both long game players. I mean, I'm not thinking that someone's gonna pay me $1 million for my music tomorrow. You know, I wouldn't
They
want
could
that.
though. They could though.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want it anyway because I
You
don't think I've
could.
put in the work for something like that to it would make me feel good.
Yeah.
It would feel like yeah. So um but I think like one thing that does come to mind is like, okay, I have to practice these songs that I'm gonna do a session on that I'm gonna put out before the tour that we're going on in May, at the end of May. And it's practicing for those songs is fun. So maybe that should be the reward for the day. Um, and that's a piece of it. So, you know, that could work. Um,
That, because that's a reward that's like you get that immediate gratification, but you're also going to receive it's a multifaceted reward because you get the delayed gratification of like seeing that work become to fruition, but you also get the immediate gratification of you love to play music, man.
yeah.
And like if you were to take music away because you didn't work, like that'd be pretty shitty.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's an interesting thought, man. And I'm
But
trying
it
to think to
also
myself, like what's like, is it food? You know, like what's multifaceted? There's like this really extreme workout trainer that was listening to some probably Tim Ferriss podcast. He was talking about like there's this really extreme guy. He's like, you don't have to work out every day, but if you don't work out, you don't eat.
yeah,
It's like
yeah, I heard that same one. Um,
um,
yeah.
it's like what is it? What are the things you need to get done, and what can you take away that's going to provide both an immediate reward and a long term reward, so you can get that little bit of dopamine, and then that long term, which is so much sweeter. It's like
Yeah.
That Georgia peach versus a North Carolina peach. No one likes the North Carolina peach, but the Georgia peaches are fantastic, you know. And it's like,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, the yeah, what it is like finding fulfillment in each day. Um and you would like your tasks all of your tasks to be fulfilling, but no matter what, your brain starts to think of the tasks that you do every day as monotonous tasks that you have to do. You know what I'm saying? No
Yep.
matter what you're doing. So, but yeah, I think like
It's like what could be a reward that not only like musicians or like
even like meditation too.
entrepreneurs, but everyone could use that has that's multifaceted, that has immediate and delayed gratification, that's also healthy. Like what is that reward? Um,
Music, listening to music. Um, I mean,
Sleeping.
reading is pretty fun. Sleeping, yeah, sleeping is good.
Like you can't
Um,
go to sleep until you do something. Like, do you think people could like be able to stick by that? Um, like, do you think it gets super unhealthy over long term, or do you think people would start saying, "Oh my gosh, I've got to do this. I want to sleep tonight. I want to go to sleep at a good time." Or people would be like, they get so overwhelmed and so stressed out that I can't do this, I can't do this, and then they just get cracked out, and then they just end up craving. And like, there's also that thing. It's like you
mm,
try to set a good habit, and then like it dies because it's too hard. Like, is that too extreme to deny yourself sleep if you don't get something done? Um,
yeah, yeah.
so then what's the less extreme? And
The, the less extreme is you can't compromise diet, sleep, or exercise. You can't compromise any of those things. It's just gonna,
those are the things that our body craves the most.
right. You have to do those things.
So it's like
I don't think that like,
there's this
I, th-
term in psychology that's like, if you don't get frustrated enough, you're never going to do it. If you
mm,
can't get if you can't get to the breaking point, it's like, if you were to truly hold yourself accountable, like sign a social contract and say, maybe not like you're going to deny yourself all sleep, but instead of getting 8 hours that night, you're going to only get 6 hours the next day, type deal. um like, it's like a little bit of compromise. It's like, and then by the time you're doing 4 6 hour sleep days, you're going to be tired, you're going to be frustrated, and you'll be like, fine, I'm going to get this ish done because I want that 8 hours. um or
mm.
like, you could even make it something as simple as like 9 hours versus 7. um
I
like,
think it's easier to yeah, I see what you're saying, but I don't think
I'm
that's a
just
good
trying to
route because
I'm just brainstorming. I'm not saying
okay.
it's the way. I'm just totally just shooting the spitball here, trying to find something that the general populace could implement that both provides immediate and delayed gratification. So um,
Maybe you
if you
just
have any,
maybe
go
you
ahead.
just maybe you give yourself a complimentary like advice that is not terrible for you or for other people or for the environment or for anything.
Like what?
Um,
Because I feel like it has to do something with your core needs. Like, that's what motivates people. It's like your what is it like? What is it deep down that you like? Humans innately need. It's like we
I don't
need
know.
we
I
need
don't think
money
the sleep would be good
and
though
shelter
because
and
I don't think
water
the
and
sleep
food.
would be good.
I'm not saying sleep is the way. I'm just trying to think of. I'm trying to brainstorm other like
It's like in
ways
a
of rewarding.
utopia, that's like in a utopia where like you're a master of sleep, a master of exercise, a master of food and all that stuff. Like, no, I'm not going to eat the salmon today. I'm going to eat McDonald's burgers until I get this task done, like it's like then you become addicted to them, to the fucking McDonald's burgers. Is that kind of what you're saying?
No, all right. This is what I'm saying is, you get your task done, okay, and you set your alarm for 9 hours. You get 9 hours of sleep that night. You don't get your task done that day, you only get 7, and you gotta. And maybe that's extreme. Maybe that's like extreme ownership, like Jocko type deal. Like, maybe that's
No,
too
no
extreme for some
way.
people. But like, it doesn't seem that extreme. 7 hours. My roommate sleeps 7 hours every day, and he's just fine. Some people need more, some people need less, but you're gonna be able to function on 7. But you're gonna want that 9, so you're gonna get your shit done. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something that, like, for the populace, like, you know what I mean?
How about like
Um,
you don't get that? you don't get your wine tonight if you don't complete this
That's not
task.
enough, man. It's not enough. It's not gonna last unless you're a true alcoholic. I'm trying to think of something for everyone that everyone sleeps, man. Everyone eats. If you want to do the same thing, all right. No eating.
Why do you think? Why do you think that it's so? It's sleep is it's
But forget sleep,
easier
man.
to
You can do the same
say.
thing with food. 10 a.m. versus 12 p.m.
Okay, well, let's
You
do
could,
food. What would
you
the
know what I
food
mean? Like,
example be?
yeah, let's do that. It's like, all right, you could eat at 8 a.m. You could eat your breakfast at 8 a.m.
Mhm.
or you have to wait till 12 because you didn't do your shit the first day. You know what I mean? It's a win-win. I'm
Oh
just
man,
I'm just spitballing here, you know?
I know what you're doing, but I think you're doing. I think it's like a. You're not gonna fuel yourself that way. I don't like. I still think like food and sleep and exercise, like the limiting, doing a personal contract to limit the basic needs you need is not going to hold even less than being like, I need to work 5 hours today and then not and working four. Like it's going to hold less. If you can't work 4 hours, then you're gonna eat. I mean, you're gonna, whatever
I
the
think
basic need is.
I think the
I think you're
true
thinking too
I'm
much
just
into
saying
that one.
I think the true issue lies in executing the contract when you fail. It's like the human being actually saying like, okay, I'm only gonna get 7 hours, or okay, I won't eat till 12. It's like everything in your body after that shit day before is
What
like,
if you fail
okay,
that?
if you fail that, then like exactly, and it's
Then
like
kill
what
yourself?
controls do you have in place?
You're gonna die? Like,
You
I don't, that's just,
you have your friend sign a contract that has an assassin that comes after you if you breach your contract, and that's
it,
the only way.
it's easier to be like, if I don't do the thing today, then I can't eat the peanut butter. It's easier to do that.
It's just
Like
not
you're
enough
addicted
for
to peanut butter. No, it's you got to have something that's like a reward for you. That is purely just a reward, not a need.
are you talking like just tiny rushes of dopamine?
Yeah,
Like all right, one Sour Patch Kid.
yeah. Like you can't have any Sour Patch Kids if you don't finish the amount of work you need to do.
The problem with Sour Patch Kids, you can't just have one, man.
Yeah, no, no, you can't.
Can't just
Can't
have
have
one.
one. Can't have one.
You gotta have more.
Yeah, it's always the whole bag or none of them.
You tell me Nick Hellcat can hold on to a bag of 40 Sour Patch Kids for 40 days? No.
Nick Elcott can't hold on to a bag of Sour Patch Kids for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you buy them at Walmart and they're done by the time you get home.
Oh, absolutely.
there is
You can eat
there
them
is
out of
no
the bag,
eating.
man.
There is no eating them at the kitchen
You don't have to
table.
cook them.
You, no,
It's like
you gotta eat them on
it's
the
in
way
your
home.
mouth. It's in your mouth or in the bag. That's it. Um, okay, so that's a hard one. Creating the reward for yourself. Um, and even if it's just a walk, if it's just a walk, like you've already got your exercise quota for the day, even if it's just like a walk in the evening, that's just like relaxing or
Some
something.
people that's a punishment.
I feel like it's easier to find than we think. I think it's I think it's easier to find than we think. I think,
Define fine.
huh?
You said it's easier to find than we think.
Yeah. I think it's
So what do you mean
easier
by find?
to I think if you sat with it for like
To
what's
find joy in it?
important to you. It's like what's your vice, you know? Like last night I had dark
Ah,
chocolate and
nice.
peanut butter, you know? So
That's
maybe
not
that's
a
a
huge buzz.
reward. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually kind of good for you. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. Um
as long as you're not eating like 10 bars.
yeah, I didn't even have a quarter of the dark chocolate, but or the peanut butter, but I don't yeah, I mean maybe I don't know, this is an interesting subject and um and it might be a key to try and get your habits in order, I guess, or like to just get things done in general. But I mean, for me, like crossing things off my list is feels really good. And I know that
At
like
their end.
watching the movie last night didn't feel great. So it wasn't like a reward for me. Uh, I don't know. We can think on that one. That's interesting to think about. Um,
I think we're coming up here in an hour.
yeah,
You
I
want to
think we should wrap up.
wrap things up here?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I've enjoyed these past 7.
yeah,
It's taken us a little while, but like it's just been fun. It's been fun like conversing with you and just shooting the breeze. Hope we can like have more in-depth talks like this, be more intentional about talking about things like this. I think that's really
yeah.
important to have people you can do that with.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think like the conversations you have with people are some of the most memorable things you ever have. Um, and yeah, man, I love you, dude, and you're one of my best
Feel
friends. And
man.
you know, I enjoy your company and I enjoy our conversations. And big things, baby, big things. You know.
Big things to come. All right, brother.
All right, brother. All right,
Wait,
peace out, my
can you
man.
just go ahead and end the recording?
Mm-hmm.